Beloved, it's Lainie Love. I'll be beaming in, transformational catalyst, cosmic creatrix of the Sacred Revolution Oracle, and founder of the Ecstatic Embodied Leadership Academy. And I am so thrilled to be coming in today to offer an oracular astrology reading around the full moon in Libra that will take place on Thursday, April 6th at exactly 12:32 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at 16 degrees. And so full moons can really bring big illuminations and also potential endings. And the full moon is when the sun and the moon are opposite each other on the same axis. And so the moon is in Libra and the sun is in Aries. And the sun in Aries is in a massive stellium with Chiron and Jupiter and Eris and Vesta. And Chiron is the wounded healer. Jupiter expands everything it touches, is known as the great benefic. Eris is the goddess of discord, and Vesta is the keeper of the sacred flame. And so these are potent energies that are moving with this full moon. And this is the axis of individuality and relationships. So Aries is that individuality, Libra is relationships. It's the axis of self and other, the I am and the we are. And so these are the energies that are at play for this full moon. And with Jupiter's really expansive qualities heightened here, it can be really easy for us to really see what it is that we need to heal, because Chiron is the great wounded healer and can really allow us to come into repair with relationships that may be frayed at the edges. It can allow us to cut cords that we really need to release and let go of. And it can really heighten where we can come into greater harmony, because Libra ultimately is about relationships, it's about harmony, it's about balance, it's the scales. And so how can we come into greater balance in our relationships? How can we heal the places where there might be some frayed edges? Where do we need to cut cords that are not serving us in our greater autonomy? And in so many ways, this is really about maintaining autonomy and sovereignty while in the collective and in relationships. And, we're actually in the midst of our Sacred Revolution Global Festival. It is day 3. And for this global festival, we are actually in the day of the Oracle deck, where we are coming home to the human family, our human family. And that ultimately is about this idea of how do we maintain autonomy and sovereignty while being in relationship with others, while being in community and collective energy. And so this is a free festival. We have over 40 global luminaries, visionary leaders, stewards of the new earth, who are offering medicine gems totally free to support you and support the collective in really igniting sacred revolution and an ancient future consciousness shift. And so I'll probably talk a little bit about it more when it's sprinkled in with our reading today, but you can find out more in the link below to join us. There is still time to really step in and really receive all of this potent medicine. There are music performances, there are sound baths, there are rituals, ceremonies, deep shamanic healings. There are so many juicy gems for your transformation here with an incredible group that has gathered. So take advantage of that for sure, and it will support you on this journey with this full moon. Powerful time. It's one of the reasons we did the festival at this time, for it to end at this full moon in Libra, to really support that collective energy coming together, because it is really a celebration of Pluto and Aquarius in a lot of ways, and Aquarius is about collaboration, cooperation, coming together, while also being in our individuality, because it's ruled by Uranus, Aquarius. And so Uranus lets their freak flag fly. It's like Uranus is the individualist, the rebel, the revolutionary. And so being in that energy, in our individual essence, and also being together in collaboration and connection. And this festival is very much a celebration of that. And every global luminary is interpreting one of the 52 cards in the Sacred Revolution Oracle deck. So she is also an intimate part of it, and they're interpreting it with their own medicine, which is just so juicy. We hope you'll join us. But now we're going to jump into the reading and also diving deeper into the chart, which I have up here as well. So the first card right out of the gate, we have Aries showing up here with all of this fierce Aries energy that we have here in Aries season. So this is card 28. This is activate your volcanic passion. And Aries is really associated with that passion, that trailblazing, that just do it, that going forward, the I'm first energy. That's why it is that I am. I have a right to exist. I am here. I am leading from my passion, from my purpose. I am ignited. I am lit up. And I love that this card is here as well because it does touch into also Vesta that is there in Aries in the stellium, because Vesta is that keeper of the flame of devotion. So what is it that you are so deeply passionate about, that you are devoted to, that you are devoting your energy, your life force, your volcanic energy out into the world towards? What are you really sending that energy out towards in the world? For that greater transformation, because there is the serpent, for that greater metamorphosis of the butterfly as we are all transforming in this collective chrysalis now. So here is all this fierce Aries energy with Jupiter there expanding and really saying, okay, this is the time to really shine. And how are we going to do that collectively? And how can we heal and let go of, with Chiron there with the sun, how can we let go of anything keeping us from this energy? Because we're also moving, we're having a nodal shift in July into North Node in Aries. So we're going to have more Aries energy coming in fierce. So there is this deep inquiry of what are you most passionate about? Where do you want to channel your life force energies? How do you want to trailblaze and lead? What lane are you in? And get in that lane and do what you're here to do. And with Saturn in Pisces, create what you're here to create and put the structures in place to make that happen. So love that this Aries energy is really leading the charge today. Here it is saying, yes, let's go. And in whole sign, this chart is in all the Aries energies in the 5th house of creative expression. It's the Leo house. So how are we going to express our essence in the world? This fire, this passion, this energy, this life force, that wild aliveness, you know, that I'm such a fan of. For those of you who've been here before, we're all about activating and really moving towards what makes us come wildly and unapologetically alive, especially in our learning and practice community, the Soul Sparkle Sanctuary Inner Circle. That is our theme this year. So card 52, the crown jewel of the deck. This is sparkle shamelessly for the good of all. So as we stand in our power, in our passion, with our deepest gifts in medicine, and as we bring that to the ecosystem, as we shine and sparkle shamelessly, it feeds the greater web of all life. It feeds the greater ecosystem. We're talking a lot about this in our Sacred Revolution Global Festival as well. And so this idea of really how to ignite that full passion so that you can shine in your full authentic essence and really bring that forward. And, you know, Aries energy is just fully here again. This feels like the Aries energy. This feels like that 5th house Leo, sparkle shamelessly, and then be an ecstatic embodied leader, 47. And so here it is. How do you want to lead, trailblaze, bring forward your authentic essence, your unique rainbow holographic self out in the world, and really burn with that fire, that passion, that aliveness, and allow that to activate you into that next level of who you are here to be. And so that's what Aries is asking. Who are you here to be? What do you want to take a stand for? What is your flame of devotion that burns in your heart, that triple flame of love, wisdom, and power? What is that burning for? Where do you want to channel this energy towards that greater transformation that is available? How do you want to participate in this great consciousness shift that we are in? How is it that you really want to show up for the greater good? Because Aries is that, you know, I am, it is that individualistic energy, but it is in service to the collective. And so I love that the next card that showed up, weaving such a story, 23, activate the collective matrix of care. So we're not activating this energy for selfish, egotistical reasons. We're activating this for the good of all. I believe we each have a unique nutrient that is needed for the ecosystem to thrive. So as we activate that passion and sparkle shamelessly and really step into our full leadership capacity in the world, in our authentic essence and truth, we bring that to the ecosystem, and that is a deep act of care and how we can all thrive, how we can all be activated into the next level of who we are here to become. And that is part of this Pluto and Aquarius time that we're in. This Aquarian age is really coming together in collaboration. It's one of the reasons we're doing the festival, bringing together over 40 global luminaries together to offer their medicine to the web. And again, it's totally free. You can join us down below. And so the eagle here is that vision of the world we want to see, that new earth, that heaven on earth. And what will it actually look like as we're all thriving? And so how can we release anything now that is keeping us from that place of being in balance of the me and the we? Of the I'm standing in my sovereign center and my passion and power, and I'm doing that in community. I don't have to isolate myself to do so. I can stand with others. I can gather with others. I can sparkle shamelessly and do that in community. And that superpowers all of us. Because when we gather in sacred circle and beloved community, it really amplifies our prayers, our intentions. It creates a vortex of power that truly allows us to create the transformation we desire, that allows us to step into our dreams, that allows us to activate our full passions and visions, that allows us to come home to more of ourselves and more of our human family. And this card is such a powerful example of returning home to the human family. These are actually actual hands from all of our beloveds in our Soul Sparkle Sanctuary Inner Circle global community, where we gather 3 times a month to really practice this art of sacred circling. And in the festival today, there's actually an offering around the art, the ancient history of the art of sacred circle and why we gather. And so that's a really potent offering today that is the offering with this particular card, so that you can really find out more and go deeper. And each of these cards has an activation. This one today has a Haleakala crater activation, volcano activation for you. And so these are all medicines that you can receive for the festival to really deepen with these cards for this full moon in Libra. And so jump in and join us for the journey. And, again, this is that coming into our autonomy in community and asking, what is keeping you from that? What is it that needs to be healed? What old wounds are infecting the way that you relate to others, to yourself, in community? Because this is about relationships. It is about harmony, Libra. And that full moon encourages us to cut cords, to let go, to release of the things that are really not serving us, and that greater flame of devotion that we're here to carry and bring forth in the world. And as we do all of this, this is how we become architects of the ancient future. And that is what this card is. This is card 10. There is a very powerful music video, actually, as the offering for this, called Goddess Embodied, that is super powerful as part of the festival. You should definitely check it out. But this energy is why we're actually gathering for the festival, to activate the ancient future consciousness shift. And the idea of the ancient future is really us coming home, remembering our full essence, remembering our capacities, remembering our indigenous intelligence, our ancestral intelligence, and bringing that forth into the future. This idea that in the Aquarian age, which rules AI, instead of thinking it as the AI as artificial intelligence, to think of it as ancestral intelligence. And so how do we tune into that ancestral intelligence and bring that forth in how we are rooting in and creating this new world, that more beautiful world that our hearts knows is possible. And so as we activate our own passions and sparkle shamelessly and step into our leadership in community, this is how we really start to foster this ancient future, that this consciousness shift that is needed, that is essential to almost this idea of a new species of Homo luminous, becoming light, becoming a whole new way of being. As the Capricorn rule, as Pluto in Capricorn comes to an end. And so this card is a little bit touching into that. 24, we have an incredible music performance today by Grammy Award-winning artist Maya Azucena of her song Warrior for this card that is so powerful, and a very intimate talk about her own personal journey of how she came to do this work and, really honoring that journey. And this card is really, again, touching into that Vesta, that flame, because this is activate and really return to justice, freedom, and liberation for all. How can we really activate that balance, justice and liberation for all. Again, Libra, balance, coming into balance of the me versus the we, and really saying, this is what I want to take a stand for. This is what matters to me. This is what lights me up with passion and fire. This is what I really want to offer my gifts, my leadership, my life force towards. And so this card is really inviting that, that freedom fighter energy. And Aries definitely has that fierce fire, that trailblazing. Where is it that you want to help create change and transformation for this consciousness shift? We are all here on this transition team. And so how is it that you want to step forward? How is it that you want to take a fierce stand towards that greater transformation, especially for those of us here in the US, that we've been in that Pluto return of the US, really those old structures that are crumbling, that are no longer in service, these patriarchal structures, and what do we want to create anew? All of us, we need all of us in our power, in our fullness, in our sovereignty, in our essence, in our truth, really living that in the world to create these new structures, to build, to be the architects of the true ancient future. We're going to need a lot of creative energy and power and new structures to take the place of what is crumbling. And so how do you want to step forward as a part of that? How do you want to serve on the transition team for that greater balance and liberation for all, that harmony, balance, liberation of that Libra energy? And this card is really bringing that. And, an end to white supremacy and patriarchy and the status quo and these energies that have really not been in service to us. So asking around this Libra full moon, what is it that you want to release on behalf of the collective as well? Where are we releasing collectively anything that has kept us from being in balance and harmony in the collective as well? And as we do that, we activate card 34, which is Galactic Gaia Unity Consciousness. So ultimately, really as we come into our own individuality in community, we start to come home and remember our interconnectedness, that we are mirrors for each other. And this card is about that great homecoming, that great remembrance. And today in the festival, there's actually a powerful healing ritual where Grandmother Spider supports us in writing a new story for the unity of humanity. And so what does that look like when we come back together in balance and harmony with each other in the collective? What do we want that to look like? What do we want it to feel like? How do we want that to ignite us on this journey? That idea of, we are remembering, we are returning to each other. We are returning home to our human family, to the web of life, to interspecies relating. No longer, as my sister Tammy Brunk refers to it, human supremacy. So really remembering that all life is precious, all life is valuable, all life is sacred, which is our next card, 43. Remember, all life is sacred. Here it is. That deep remembrance and looking at the shadow of any places where you have been operating that have kept you out of that harmony and balance in relationship with self, with other, with our world. Where are you operating from those shadowy realms? That jaguar takes us into the shadows and says, where are you operating from shadow that is keeping you from connecting authentically in your authentic truth, in your authentic self? Because that's what can happen. We have this, we have these shaming messages that we receive that cause us to say, ooh, it's not safe for me to do that, be that, show up that way. I'm going to put that in my shadow bag. Because, to protect ourselves, we say, ooh, I'm going to lose love and belonging if I keep doing that. Let me put that in the shadow bag. I'm going to put that back there. Nobody's going to see it anymore. I'm not going to lose love and belonging. But then along the journey, we've lost parts of ourselves and the energy in this shadow bag, and we are operating from a subconscious place. I mean, it is statistically said that we are mostly operating only from 10% of our conscious mind. And so, really looking at where are you unconsciously being controlled in how you relate to others based on what is in the shadow. This is one of the reasons I became an advanced shadow work facilitator, to be able to unpack this shadow bag and call back our full power and all the energy that has been lost on this journey, and to come into a place of true, authentic relating, to say, this is me, this is who I am, this is what I need. Hi, I'm connecting with you. Who are you? Truly, really, what do you need? And how can we meet each other in a good way? Aries has healthy boundaries. So how do we have healthy boundaries and call in the boundaries that we need to honor ourselves in community and in relationships? What healthy boundaries are needed? With Chiron there, it does indicate that deeper healing. Where do we need healthy boundaries to really honor ourselves, to honor how we can sparkle shamelessly, to honor our life force and our energy and our capacities, knowing it is finite in this human life. We are limitless spiritual beings that have finite human resources in terms of our energy and capacities. And so how do we really dance with that in a good way so that we can be that leader we're here to be and sparkle shamelessly? Because if we're following that patriarchal paradigm of you must always be producing, you must always be working, you must be bulldozing your body, you must be, constantly going. If we are trying to operate in that mode, we're not going to have the energy to be able to truly sparkle shamelessly. We need rest. We need restoration. We need that sense of homecoming. We need space. We operate in rhythms and cycles. We're not meant to be on and in a linear production mode all the time. And so that's part of the structure that's breaking down. And where do you need to have boundaries with that so that you can truly honor your own energy, honor your own essence, honor your soul and what you need to be able to thrive and shine? Because ultimately, this is our orgasmic life force, Shakti energy. When that is lit up, that is how we sparkle. When we are so lit up and alive by life, because we're well rested, because we're well nourished, because we are sustained, because we are truly rooted and grounded, because we are connected and really held in beloved community, because we have the support that we need to truly thrive. And that is what this is about, thriving in community, coming together, thriving in community, thriving on the self-group whole level. And so that is the potentiality for this full moon, for us to release what isn't in service to that, so that we can truly step into a new realm of balance and harmony and connection and love. Because Libra is ruled by Venus. And, it's coming into this place of love and remembrance of that love and that juiciness, and really being in relationship in a good way, and remembering that all life is sacred. And that starts with our relationship with ourselves and our body and our relationship with the earth and relationship with others. And that is the journey that we're going on in the Sacred Revolution Global Festival. It is the journey in the Sacred Revolution Oracle. That is really why we do this deep work. And it's also why we come together and practice in our Soul Sparkle Sanctuary Inner Circle, to remember to come home. And so welcoming you home, beloved, on the journey. Hope to see you in the festival with the thousands of people that have gathered from all around the globe to really dive into this medicine together. And we'll be having our closing ceremony live on Zoom on Wednesday, April 5th. And we're going to be having a very special surprise guest with Parashakti and Dance of Liberation coming to lead us in a collective vision quest for this ancient future that we are really calling forth now, in this consciousness shift we are calling forth. So hope to see you there. All the info is below again, and hope to gather with you. We're actually going to be having a surprise opening of the doors of the Soul Sparkle Sanctuary Inner Circle for a few days. So be sure to get in on that if you missed out at the beginning of the year. They don't open often, usually only once a year. And so this would be an opportunity to receive that support, to be able to practice being in self-autonomy and sovereignty while in community, being in your truth and your essence, and having healthy boundaries and naming what it is that you need, and being honored in that and held in that and celebrated in that and witnessed on this evolutionary and revolutionary journey we are on together. So can't wait to see you soon, beloveds. And until next time, be sure to like the video below and subscribe to receive more. Share it with anyone that you feel would be deeply supported by this message. And until then, sparkle shamelessly for the good of all, and we will see you next time, beloved. Sending so much love and tender care your way for this powerful full moon. May it activate and ignite us and support us in coming into greater balance and harmony in all of our relationships.